everyone, this is Life of Hope. If you guys are new here to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe down below. Today I am going to do a Draw My Life video. So I hope you guys liked it as much as I do. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you guys down on the floor so you guys will see it. So I hope you guys are about to like my day in my life video. It's really going to be cool. It's how I started YouTube and how it all started. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna hold up my paper. I hope I could do this right, but I have a better idea if I could do it, and I will send it to you guys out there about my day of life video. And I need to just get my pencil or pen. So yeah, the only thing about it is I'm gonna try my best. If I missed something, if I forgot to know exactly what's happened in my life, let me know in comments down below. So that all is see, let's get started. All right, everyone. So to start with my life, so the day I was born in San Antonio, Texas in 2003. I lived with my mom, 2 brothers, my sister, and my grandmother and my grandfather, which is not here in the photo, because I'll explain why in a second. And I also live with my father, and I'll explain what's going to happen with that. We live in a happy family. And it seems like all the things that happen, but about my perspective, since I was a young child, I have autism. So that's how it happened. But then in 2004, way after my baptism, unfortunately, my grandfather ended up passed away on old age, and it was so sad for our family. We live with my grandmother now because of this. And so now let's move on. If I could figure out how to do this, or if I could flip there we go. That's more like it. I bet you guys could see it a lot more better when I flip it. So in 2005, way after my grandfather passed away. Unfortunately, when I was like 3 years old, I don't want to put the year in anymore. So when I was like 3, unfortunately, my mom and my dad decided they end the divorce, and somehow I don't know what's going to happen with my dad now. So, but until then, once I started into kindergarten, until then, when I was like, so in 2008, when I started going to kindergarten, but my disabilities have just so turned out, you thought it's getting worse as my disability of my functioning in my brain. And I knew I have a lot of people to here to help me. And it makes my life felt really happy. And I met so many of my good friends, but I never thought if I would have had me in the first place. But until then, in 2010, and when I was in elementary, and one day when I was like playing outside at recess, it's like anyone's favorite thing when when they're in elementary, and that's when I met a boy. I met my very first friend in the world when I was in elementary, named Rafael Diaz. We met in the playground in 2010, and we thought we never would if I ever had a friend, but now I felt like this friend became such a true friend. We did a lot of things. I really almost like became very close with him for almost like my entire life. So I'll skip some details of that, so we're gonna get it done as much quicker as much as I can. So let's move on to after. So now let's get to 2000. When 2016, when I had to leave my elementary years and move on to my middle school years. And a lot of people have no idea what their course is for middle school, and that's understandable. But me, I know what I was like hoping to do in my entire life. But when I was like in 8th grade, I did one of my favorite subjects in the whole wide world is choir. That's right. So I did choir for about a long time. So with a lot of my friends, including my friend who I met when I was in 7th grade named Maya. So I will get to the point of how I do that probably at the end, of how I did met Maya first. And me and Maya, we literally became great friends as possible, and somehow we sang together, and we like choir, and I love choir too. And poll question: what's your favorite when you're going to school? What's your favorite thing to do? That's what I was about to say for you guys. So until then, like me and Maya, I love choir, and so does my friend. And I hope you have a friend you're really close with to able to love. All right. So after my middle school years, and I did is high school. Now we're gonna get to the point of 2020. That is the COVID years, because one thing I realized on one of my courses, I did yoga with my wonderful favorite friend and also a teacher is Kimberly Culp. So Kimberly and I, we're not even that, because I was a little bit more tall than her. That's the only thing. And she was like one of my top teachers I ever look up to. If you have a teacher that you remember your life and when you're in school, let me know. And she taught me a lot of good things. And I knew that she's such a great friend to talk to whenever I see her. And a lot of my friends from choir, from anywhere I saw, they along with me too. And then somehow one thing about me, when I was in high school, I literally took over the classroom. Yes, I am. I did took over a classroom. And that's how when that happened in my whole entire high school years when I was in yoga. That's true. And also, throughout my high school years, me and Rafa. Okay, before we get to that part, you guys are asking me, how do I met Dylan Warsaw? That's right. Okay, I bet you guys comment me right now, and I forgot that. I'll get to that part. Well, okay, before we jump back in, I'm gonna draw the part. It's like how me and my friend Rafa, we end up do one of the best courses in junior school is meal tube. That's right. Okay, I love meal tube. It's like my one of my top favorites of this my full-time world. And one thing I realized when I saw my good friend Dylan, he and I were somehow I don't know what to say or how to describe him, but he was like kind of like a famous movie star. If you like look up to, if you have a famous movie star like a celebrity or anything, let me know. And he and him just helped me and my friend about meal tube and all that, and I knew that I was like became my dream job. Hopefully one day in my courses. So that's that. And okay, we're back on track. So me and my love for sight, Rafael Diaz, well, he was, but sometimes a lot of people kept asking so much if I ever date him. What? I have or might have not. I don't know. Let's skip that part, okay? So me and Rafa, we did a lot of things. One thing is really cool. It's like he and I were in homecoming court when we were in high school. So it was like a really good experience. Like everyone's there, and somehow when we wear crowns, it was like we're like I don't know, we're like the prince or princess, like something like that. If I want to describe it, so now on the good part. All right. Now, one thing's the bad part, which is I don't want to draw, is the time that, well, which is I don't know choice. But now when the point is around after spring break in 2020, is I felt like in a tear eye because I had to do school online. Yes, not my favorite. And I saw a lot of people doing the same thing. And I'm really grateful that we're done with COVID years, and that way is something that I do not want to hear. Now, in 2021 on summer, it's the first time I go to Texas A&M for the 10-day program called the LEAP program. So, I get excited, but I'm also felt nervous that I'm going to be alone. But one thing is really cool is I met a lot of people out there. It was something I always try to achieve myself. I try to make a lot of my friends, a lot of new friends, expect some new people and some familiar faces. But luckily, I did not go alone. Mary Margaret Daka was there with me the whole time. And she and this is something I remember for a long time. When me and Mary Margaret, we were like, somehow we became great friends for 5 minutes ago until then. Things that like change up now and but now we're somehow from 2021 and now for this year 2023, me and Mary Margaret were roommates. We're so funny. I know if something happened. We'll get to that part of this year in just a little bit because we have a great time at Texas A&M. It's like a courses and you're able to succeed of your life. Now, on the point of 2022, when the day that me and my family, we just ran somehow, before we get to that part over here, we received some, before that point of, in 2021, around July, or something like that. Yes, it's around July 15th. Unfortunately, my grandmother ended up passed away, from due to old age, and we like all look very devastating at the news. It's like no other person you don't want to hear about the death of a loved one. It's so hard for me. And also in 2021, also another death came up in my mind. It is the death of my cat. My cat had died after my sister got engaged of her fiance. And I'll get to the point of her fiance a little bit later. So, but now we're on the point of the time we move. So me and my family, we end up moved to a new house, which is not that bad. And I felt really grateful that I have a bigger room, which is this house. we live our old house in Geneseo, but now we moved to our new house on Kinross Drive. And some people realize like, how is that possible? But luckily, this house right here is on the same district and everything. So, I mean, now the point of so the day of so I just realized when I found out that my sister has a boyfriend named Steven. So when I first met him, I felt like unsure about him. But when I feel about Steven, he was like a really nice person to talk to, and I never saw about it. But she's pretty has the same personality as my sister. But one thing is like they both have in common is they both have the same birthday month, I will say. It was so funny. And one thing we have in common of me and her boyfriend Steven, we both have the same cat name as Will Lucky, which is that's the name of my cat who passed away on. And some of the things I will talk to a little later on, but and also but now where we are so on the day when I went to Texas A&M, when I realized that around week 1, I got so terrified. You know why? That's right. It's the day that I got stuck on the elevator. It was like a no-go for me. Absolutely not. That is a no-go for me. I got terrified easily. There were about 8 people inside the elevator. It was like really scary. But luckily, somebody able to let us out of here, and we were able to be free out of the elevator for once. But here's some other good parts in my story. So I met a lot of people when I met Texas A&M. That's the thing about it. And one thing is really cool because I started my first YouTube channel up in Texas A&M. And my channel is called Life of Hope. And that's when I start my very first channel, Life of Hope. And I made so many weekly videos like this. And I reached so many goals. And then we don't know if I've received the gold play button, silver play button, and diamond play button. But we don't know. But we'll stay tuned on that in the next few futures when that change comes. So, and that's it on my day of live video. So now on the good part is talking. So you guys are really about to get so much familiar with all these things. So like the day that I own the channel and everything, and that's the day of life. It's almost similar as like my good friend back in Texas A&M's life story, but it's like changing a little bit. If I remember a lot of stuff in my life, it will be turned into a good thing. So I want to say a huge thank you to everyone out there to support me and love me during my YouTube career, and I hope I make my goal to reach so much like 100,000 subscribers, so that way I can receive the silver play button. That's the number 1 I had to get. There's a lot of things you had to wait until you receive that reward. If you reach 1,000 subscribers, you receive the silver button. If you reach 1 million subscribers, you receive the gold play button. If you receive 10 million, you receive the diamond play button. But there's more. I'll explain that on my separate vlog. So thank you so much for watching on this video. But now we're going to get to the point of talking. But so my cat, Lucky, fortunately he passed away during the bad car accident during my sister's engagement night. And I have it for like about all my lifetime when I was a young child. And he and I, we became good buddies, but unfortunately, it just like ended up passed away. If you could not tell, I have the, I'll get you the details of his passing, a little bit soon when I find it. And I'll upload it on my channel. that taking in my old house way before I even moved. But and also what I'm gonna do is also I've been to homecoming court for 3 years already. But and a few things I haven't even talked to is about the day that I met Miss Liliana. I met her when I was a junior in high school, and I did the pledges with her. And the total that I did the pledges with my people in my school about 3.5 years. I started when I was a sophomore. So that is a crazy thing about in my life. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching on this brand new video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you're new here. And also, I would say a huge thank you to my friends at Texas A&M to help me build up my YouTube career, and I knew I will do well, and I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and also stay tuned on the following Friday. That's when I give you my updates at how it goes on my oh no, it's next Friday. I'm sorry. When did the time go? It's next Friday. I will be back to live streaming on my regular basis. I do live streams every Friday, but this is the video I'm making right now. That won't happen until today, which is you guys are watching right now. So I will see you guys next time. Bye!